I'm live. Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's been a long week. I'm really looking forward to the weekend, as I'm sure most of you are. We finally got the warmth back here. Um, in the city, it's warm. It's been warm this week, so not having to wear a toque and a jacket and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. And I think it's going to stay warm next week too. And this is like the end of this weekend is like the end of summer, right? So the longer the summer temperatures hang out, the better. So I'm all for that. So, yeah, it's about it. Got some guitar news and for you, and got some YouTube news and some, I guess, gig news. But wait for a few people to pop in here. We got one person here so far. If you're in here, say hello. Hope you're gonna have a good weekend. Got six folks in here. I'm doing well, Simon. I hope you're also doing well. Hi from the UK. Hi, Phil. There's Russ, watching at work. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's gonna have a good weekend. It's gonna be a busy weekend for myself. I driving way out of town tomorrow, like a good 2 hour drive, to play a show. It's a really nice venue, but it's way too damn far. So we were supposed to go back there again in November. Unfortunately, no, it got canceled, and I'm not too upset about that actually, because that's a way far drive to play a show. But that'll eat up all my day tomorrow because I'm gonna be having to leave here, like around 4 o'clock, and I probably won't be home till about 2 in the morning. All right, hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, so I got a little bit of guitar news, gear news. If you follow the channel, you may have seen that I did a review on the Ultra 2 Meteora guitar. I I picked one up, a used one, because there's no way I would buy one full price. I think they're way overpriced. But I got a used one, and live from Kenya. Wow. And so I had it, and I did a review of it. And yes, hello. Two status quo, I'm to recommend you Pile Driver and Ma Kelly's Greasy Spoon. I think you really enjoy them. Yeah, I've been. Well, I'll talk about that in a bit, Rob. So, but getting back to the guitar. So I had a Meteora Ultra 2, and I did a review of it, and a very honest review, I thought, and I posted it on the channel. And that guitar it came with, I guess some high frets on it. I had notes that weren't ringing, high up the fretboard, and I contacted my buddy who works at the shop that I deal with, and I took it in there. And right now it's there getting worked on, and I was supposed to hear back right away, and I haven't, which means it's probably more to it than just knocking a couple of frets back into place. Because I said, I'd like to use it at the gig this weekend. I'd like to try it out, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna be getting it back in time, which is fine. I just plan on taking the SG. But yeah, so you're talking about a top of the line, the most expensive production model of Fender, and they're releasing them with high frets. And I'm honestly thinking, um, even if it does get fixed, it's like, you know what? I don't even want it. Just keep it. Because the fact that the store would sell it like that, and the fact that it's used, now I'm thinking it's used because the original owner found that mistake, and rather than try to get it corrected, he just took it back to the store and said he didn't want the guitar anymore. And then I guess the store just didn't know about that, and they just posted it used, and then I get it, and it just keeps going, right? That vicious circle with nobody addressing the problem and fixing what's wrong with it. Yeah, it's all right, Simon. Shit. Last last thing I need is another guitar. Honestly, it's the last thing I need. I actually traded. I'm down because I traded one in for it. So if I get rid of that, I'm actually down one, which is good. I'm trying to scale back a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not bummed at all about it, to be honest with you. It's nice to thin out the herd. Well, it's like, so they return it. So the original owner returned it. I don't know if he said what was wrong with it or not, but they didn't. I mean, I don't know if I should blame the store, to sell something. I don't think they would sell something knowingly, you know, with it knowingly bad. But I don't know. I don't know. Oh, there's Johnny Dean. Yeah, so I don't know if they would do that, but whoever gets it next, at least it'll be corrected, right? They'll have it corrected. But getting back to the status quo, so we got a show coming up here. Actually, I think yeah, next Thursday. Next Thursday, I got a show coming up. My monthly show with Martin and Pete, and we are going to be discussing bands that we just can't get into for whatever reason. And I put a list together of bands that I couldn't get into. And then I started listening because I want to be sure, like these are, I'm not just going to list a band for the sake of listing a band. Hey, Music Therapy Lass, how are you? Amir, hello. I'm not just going to list a band for the sake of listing a band. I'm going to list bands that I've made a real effort to get into, and people have suggested, oh, listen to this record or that record or whatever. Status Quo is one of those bands that I try to get into. I'm not saying they're necessarily on my list, but that's a band that I've tried to get into. I've got to do a little more listening and see if they click with me. But so I went back, and so I made a list, and then I went back and I started listening to some of that stuff again. Okay, you guys are having a conversation about the UK. Awesome. Hey, Joe DeLenza. Um, and so I went back and I wanted to make sure that these, for 100%, these are bands I couldn't get into. And I listened to a couple of albums from each band, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually not bad. So those bands got struck, wiped off my list. So now what I have on there now is bands that I have did the same thing, and I try to get into it, listen, and I just, for whatever reason, and they're well-known bands that people love, right? We don't all like the same thing, and so that'll be an interesting show, anyways, on Thursday. I'm gonna discuss that and what is it, why we can't get into those particular bands, right? The status quo stuff, yeah, yeah. I've been listening. Like I was saying earlier, Rob. Yeah, that's a band that I've been getting listening to more and more. With the last show we did, Martin was suggesting some records. I'm really bad with names. I can't remember names of albums and stuff. But Martin was suggesting, I think it was the first record actually that he suggested I listen to, and I have been listening to it. I haven't that I got did a deep dive with Status Quo, and because that was not so much a band I didn't like, but it was a band that just, I don't know, it just didn't come on my radar. But I did a deep dive with them, and I also did a deep dive with, oh, see, I'm blanking on the name of the band now. They they put out that album Argus. Who am I talking about? Oh shit, a British blues band, but then they progressed from there. Put out the. Why can't I remember? Simon will know. Can't remember the name of the band. But is it Savoy Brown? No. Anyways, Simon will know. But yeah, so I gave them a bit of a deep dive. Like I said, status quo. A bit of a deep dive because before I put a band on this list of the show I'm going to be doing, I don't want to be putting something that I haven't really gone at and really gave it a fair shot. Okay, looks like the chat is froze again. If you're still in the chat, type something in quick because this happened the last time I was live here, that the chat just kind of died. So I'll give it a couple of minutes. If nobody, if I don't see anything in the chat, then I'm just going to shut this down and maybe not do these things anymore because it's really no fun if there's no chat, if you guys can't participate. Yeah, so there's nothing happening in the chat. So the chat is done. But anyway, all I was going to say, folks, was if you're still here, going to be a show next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, with Martin and Pete. Again, it's going to be on the bands that we no longer can, bands that we, for whatever reason, can't get into. So check that out. I'm going to be on the Contrarians. I already shot. I was on the show. We taped it this week. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's a show about Judas Priest, about the Ram It Down record. So keep an eye out for that. Support Grant and the Contrarians guys. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and I'll be appearing on Charles Green and Mitch on their Friday night show. I think next Friday. So I'll be running the YouTubes. So I want to wish everybody a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's our last weekend of summer, so enjoy the weather, folks. Thanks all for popping in. Apologize about the chat. It happens. I don't know why. The chat always dies after a few minutes, and it's only fun if I can communicate with you guys. So, but that's beside the point. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will catch you next time.